there. I'm Lacetia Walker, a mom, educator, wife, sister, girlfriend, cousin, advocate, a believer, and a joy seeker. And I'm also the host of the Joy-Filled Educator Podcast, where we're talking real talk, stories, lessons, belly laughs, and a whole lot of inspiration and joy. So if life's been a little messy, a little full, or just a lot, then guess what? You belong here. And I can't wait to share this space with you. Listen, you play a role in this too. Please like and subscribe, write a positive comment, then share this podcast with a friend. And let the countdown to joy begin. Hello. Can you believe it? Can you believe that it is episode 3 already? I can. Episode 3 is entitled Finding Your People, Building Joy-Filled Sisterhoods. Hey, y'all. Hey, family. Welcome back to the Joy-Filled Educator. I am your host, Lacetia Walker, and today's episode is all about something very, very close to my heart. It's about sisterhood, finding your people, the ones who help you to grow, to help you to hold space for your healing, and to multiply your joy. And let me tell you, the timing of this episode couldn't be more perfect. We just returned from the most beautiful family trip to Jamaica, 4 generations strong together in one space. Can you imagine the joy, the laughter, the stories? Those kids are a trip. The unity. It reminded me of how deeply we thrive in intentional community. And we learn a lot as well. I learned a lot from the younger ones. As a family, at that time, we made a conscious decision that we're going to do this more often. So our plan is to have 2 intentional getaways a year, not just vacations, but joy-seeking rituals in a way. And that has made me think about, if we do this with family, can we be intentional about making those plans and doing those plans with friends as well? So I think we can. So today we're going to be diving into how to build joy-filled sisterhoods because, sis, we need each other. We need each other in real and restorative ways. Don't you agree? All right, we're going to jump right into segment 1. Let's start with the why. Before we talk about how to build sisterhood, we've got to name why it is so necessary in the first place. Why do we need to do it? What I know for sure is that you deserve, we all do, not just you, myself as well, deserve friendships that don't feel like work, but still do the work of healing. We don't want to feel as if we're working when we're dealing with sisters, right? Sisterhood isn't just about brunch. It's not just about dates and birthday texts. It's about being seen. It's about being safe and feeling safe too. I had to learn the hard way. I've been in circles that have left me just absolutely drained. I have experienced the sting of broken trust, but I've also known the deep joy of finding my people, the ones who create space for me to breathe, for me to grow, for me to rest, and to laugh out loud. And I'm certain many of you have as well. And this isn't just a concept, right? This whole idea of having people and people on your side and people with you is actually a concept that is written in the most widely read and distributed book in the world. Can you guess what that book is? Yep, it's the Bible. The Bible even talks about it. Let me tell you, before I go into detail about that, let me tell you a little bit about Mama. Mama always said, if something is in the Bible, it must be true. It must be true. And I asked her one day why. She said, because he sure can't lie. So let me tell you what's in Ecclesiastes 4, 9, and 10. Ecclesiastes 4, 9, and 10 says that 2 are better than 1, because if either of them falls, one can help the other up. One can help the other up. So it's true, Mama. You were right. I remember one time I had shared a biblical concept with her. I can't remember exactly what it was. And she had a different idea. And I said to her, Ma, that's not what the Bible says. And she told me at that time, if you show me in the Bible, then I'm going to believe you. And again, why? Because if it's in the Bible, it must be true, because he sure can't lie. So that's in the Bible, guys. So we need to make sure that we're forging and nurturing our sisterhood. Let me say this. We weren't meant to struggle in silence. We were designed for connection, to lift, to encourage, and to be in community, to remind each other of who we are, especially when life happens and it tries to make us forget. I remember also a moment in community as I think about my second eldest daughter, Kelsey. Kelsey was about 7, and her compassion and care when someone needed help was just remarkable to me. I remember when she had one of her little best friends at that time, and she's still a very good friend of hers, like probably her best friend now. That young lady, she was about 7 or 8, needed an inhaler. She had asthma, she had an inhaler, and it was, she used it all up. Kelsey, at that time, who was a smart little kid, knew that my mom, grandma, used an inhaler as well. And so Kelsey went to mama, which had about 25 or 30 of them stacked up, and told grandma that Jasmine needed an inhaler. And she made arrangements with my mom to give them to her as needed. That's community. That's sisterhood in seed form. So even young hearts understand the concept that we need to stand up for one another. We really do. It's our obligation. So now that we've named the need, let's talk about what healthy, joy-filled sisterhood actually looks like. Because let's be honest, not every circle is a safe one. Not every circle is a circle that we need to remain in, right? Don't you agree? Okay, so let's talk about joyful sisterhoods. Joyful sisterhoods are built on intentionality and emotional safety. It's not about how many people surround you. It's about how those people make you feel. Oprah, I guess, is one of the people who said it best. She said, surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher, not knock you down, tear you down, walk all over you, or talk about you behind your back, but those who are going to lift you higher. So here's the thing. Proximity isn't the same as connection. That's something we want to be clear about. Just because you're in close proximity with somebody or they invite you out to something doesn't mean that there's a connection. You can still be in a room and feel unseen. And that's not what we want with a true sisterhood. That's why we must stop settling for being included without being valued. Can I get an amen? How many of you have been in a situation where you have been included, but what you bring to the table, who you are as your whole authentic self, was not being valued? Here's some questions you can consider. Does your circle celebrate your growth? That's important. Do they hold space when you're struggling? Can you show up as your whole, authentic, imperfect self? Can you fully be yourself with your group of friends? That's the difference. That's where joy actually lives, if you are in those spaces and you can be all of those things. Okay? All right, sis, let's get practical. How do we actually build and maintain sisterhood on purpose? How do we do it? Do you all have some answers? I'm certain you do, as we're talking here today. I got some simple, heartfelt tips for you as well that can help you to start. So grab out your journals, right? Grab them out because I want to show you or tell you how to build sisterhood on purpose. Here are 3 ways that I want you and myself as well to continue building the kind of sisterhood that your soul deserves. When we are developing these sisterhoods, we want to be honest about who we are and what season we're in. Because keep in mind, what you needed at 21, 22, 23, and myself is not what I need at the age I am now. So wherever you are in this journey, what you needed 5 years ago may not be the same thing that you need right now. So be honest about that. Stop hiding your needs. If you're tired, say so. If you're healing, let folks know. Because transparency builds a great deal of trust. Number 2, initiate connection. There are a lot of good people out here who are waiting on you, and on me too, to make the first move. So let's be the invitation. Let's be the bridge. Let's be the bridge for someone else. And then finally, let's celebrate each other. When one sister wins, we all rise. When one sister gets something positive, we all get it. When one person buys a new boat, it's all of our boats. When one person experiences Dubai and we haven't traveled out of the country, we all experience it. Joy expands when it's shared. And let me add this. Please leave space for imperfection. Real sisterhood doesn't require you to perform. It doesn't. It just asks you for your presence. No performance, just presence. All right, guys. You know how we do it on this show now, especially since you all have had a couple of weeks to get your journals, right? We want to pause and reflect by digging a little bit deeper. And we're going to do that with a journal prompt, not after as an extended learning opportunity, but right now during the show. So at this time, I would love for you to grab your Joy-Filled journal, if you've picked one up at this time, or a notebook. And I want you to sit with this. I'll give you a couple of seconds to grab it. And then from here, we'll know as we move forward to have that journal out. Okay? We don't have any music going, but I just want you to go ahead and grab it. We'll give you a couple of seconds. All right? Oh, we do have a little music while you're grabbing your journals. Okay, let me stop clowning because I can clown. Okay, I can clown. All right. Now that you have your journals out, I would like for you to think about three women in your lives that nourish your joy. Think about those three women. Jot their names down. Correct spelling is not necessary. You can use nicknames. Jot down their names. Give you a second. And I want you to start to think about just one way that you can reconnect or pour into those relationships this week. Think about one way that you can reconnect or pour into those relationships this week. Some of you guys may have so many that it may be kind of hard for you to narrow it down, but just pick the first three. P.S. If you don't have the Joy-Filled journal yet, it's on Amazon now. It's not just a place to write. It's a guide to track your joy, your growth, and your self-care. Just giving myself a little plug. Please pick up those journals, though. All right. Shoot, time is flying by. We're almost done. Okay, I'll give you a second to write down, again, how you're going to reconnect with those three people before we move on to our extended learning opportunity. Okay. You can continue later. As long as you started, that's the important thing. You don't have to finish during this time, but at least you've started and you can finish once we're off the air. All right, guys. So maybe you're thinking, I want this kind of connection, but I'm not sure how to get there. I'm not quite sure how I can really begin to make this connection. Don't worry. I got you. What I have done is I have created something special just for you in this Joy-Filled community. It's a free downloadable worksheet. And that worksheet is called Practices for Purposeful Sisterhood, a how-to for building deeper Joy-Filled connections. And you should be able to see that on a QR code up in the corner somewhere. This is one worksheet. So although it's one worksheet, I'm going to tell you what's all contained on that worksheet. There are 5 reflective questions to help you assess your current friendships. There is a sisterhood inventory. There is a conversation starters section to deepen trust. And there is a short exercise on creating a friendship rhythm. Again, all 5 things are included on one worksheet. I'm not giving you a whole lot of homework. My husband reminds me constantly, this is not school. Nobody wants to go to school. But anyway, all of that's contained on one worksheet, and I would love for you all to download it so that you can really start thinking strategically and intentionally about your friendships. And let me be real. I've been in both places. I've nurtured friendships back to life with something as simple as a weekly voice note, a text message, and a call. Oh my gosh, we have one sister friend. Every Friday she sends us, she used to, she hadn't been doing it lately, Miss Law. Hopefully she's watching. She was sending us a happy Friday note all during the pandemic. Every Friday we said we received a happy Friday, beautiful text message from her. I've also had to lovingly let go of connections where I was doing all of the emotional lifting. I had to, unfortunately, let those connections go. So, this tool is designed to help you discern what's life giving, what needs more care, and what's okay to really release. You can scan again the QR code, or you can find the link in the description, or DM me on Instagram at Joy-Filled Educator, and I'll text or email it to you right away. It's really important. And let me tell you why. Because sisterhood isn't something we stumble into, it's something that we practice. And I am super excited because I have sisters here. I have sisters in Georgia. I have my sisters in love in Alabama. I have sisters in Memphis. I have sisters all over the place. All right. And you can have that too. So, as a part of our closing reflection, I would like to say, sis, I hope you're walking away from this episode reminded of how much joy is possible when we build our circles with care and with intention. It's moments like my Jamaica trip that don't just happen. They're created, they're protected, and they are so worth it. Here's to sisterhood that heals, friendships that hold you accountable and hold you close, to being lifted and to lifting others. I like to tell you all, thank you so much for spending time with me today. And until next time, please keep choosing joy, keep showing up for one another, and keep loving boldly. See you next time.